Shalom Aleichem and welcome to Online Smicha. I would like to read a halacha in Shulchan Aruch and see how it applies to many of the objects that we see roaming around the streets and we sometimes feel comfortable to use it or take it for ourselves. There is a halacha in Choshen Mishpat, Siman Reish Samach Aleph, Seif Dalid. And the Mechaber says like this: Hama'abed memoinei ladas. If you see somebody intentionally destroying things that he owns, he's careless about his objects. Ein niskaking loy. We have no obligation to save it or return it, etc. If you see that he doesn't care about his objects, then not necessarily I have to go out of my way to give it back to him. And the Mechaber goes on to explain different cases. Ketzad, for example, hiniach parase berefes is obviously talking back in times back then when we weren't talking about bicycles and cars and expensive items. We're talking about an animal. So if a owner leaves his animal in a barn, she'ein ladelis, the barn has no doors, so you obviously see that the owner is careless, so the animal might walk off. V'loik shura, and the animal is not tied. V'holach loy, and the owner leaves. Something is wrong. The man obviously doesn't care. Or hishlich kisei b'rshus harabim, or the owner got upset at somebody. This is my extra additional spice, but hishlich kisei b'rshus harabim means he's walking on the street and he just drops his wallet outside in public domain. V'holach loy, and he leaves. Hareza ibed memoinei l'daitoi. That's somebody who we would call somebody intentionally willing to lose his money. So what's my take on it? The person seeing it. What responsibilities do I have? Says the Mechaber, v'afal pi she'asur l'roya davar zeh litel la'atzmai. Even though I can't go ahead and take that animal for myself, or I can't go ahead and take that wallet when I know it belongs to that person, nevertheless, einay zakuk lahachzir. The mitzvah of hashavas aveda, the mitzvah of returning a lost object, does not apply in that case. In those cases, when you know the person is ma'abed memoinei ladas, aveda midas means that it's not lost. He's hoping to get it back. He has no interest in it. Then you have no responsibility to give it back to him. Yet you're not allowed to take it yet, because it was not made hefker unless you hear him saying it becoming hefker. Shene'emar, because the pasuk says, when does the obligation of hashavas aveda apply? Asher toivad, an object that will be lost. If it's lost, the owners are still hoping to get it back. You have an obligation to return it. Prat l'ma'abed l'daite. Obviously, it's excluding somebody who intentionally makes his things get lost. Comes the Ramah, v'yesh shomrim, and the Ramah adds, you know what? The aveda midas have a hefker. In these two cases of leaving the door open, the cow should be able to walk out, or somebody throws his wallet in the public domain, it's not only an aveda midas. It's not only a case of a person losing it, leaving it in public, and he's careless. So you don't have to give it back to him, but you can't take it. No, even more than that. When a person drops his wallet intentionally in a public place, it's hefker. Just his act makes it free for all. V'chol ha'koidim zacha. So the first one to take it, you're allowed to keep it. Now, when you look in the Noisei Kliya Shulchan Aruch, you have a shach, you have a nesivus, a choshen. They're all discussing la halacha. Is the mechaber the halacha that you're just not forced to chase the person, take it back, but keeping it you're not allowed to? Or perhaps the Ramah is correct, la halacha, that you're even allowed to keep it. I thought about this halacha because today's days, one of a very common thing that you see in front of storefronts that the store owners have is those shopping carts or milk crates, soda crates. Now, I think that first the shopping carts are an expensive item. intentionally, they're not giving anybody permission to take that shopping cart home and keep it for yourself. But part of their cost, I'm sure it's established that some people might take it too far, it might get them misused, etc., etc. If a person, in other words, if you find a shopping cart that belongs to a certain company, a certain store, but it's way away from where the store is, and it's a Yiddish. I'm talking about a dry letter of the law, halacha. What your Yiddish feeling, towards a friend is something else. Let's talk about the halacha. Is there a mitzvah of hashavas aveda because you know that this wagon belongs to that store? Am I obligated to go out of my way to bring it back to the store? Soda box, those milk carts, the soda cartons, and all those things. Are you allowed to take it because the store owners leave it out in public, and they leave it out in such a way that in taking consideration that things will be missing, things will be taken away, which is part of a sort of aveda midas. Now, in aveda midas, the Ramah goes as far as saying you're allowed to keep. Not only you don't have to go out of your way to give it back, you're allowed to keep. Or do we say that the mechaber is correct? And if you find the carton or if you find the wagon blocks away, you don't have to return it, but keeping it, you're not allowed to. And la halacha, they say, we paskin, even though the Ramah, who is the Ashkenazic authority for many halachas, la halacha, we paskin that if you see something like this that belongs to a storekeeper, it does not have the din of aveda midas as hefker. Taking it intentionally, you're not allowed to, and if you see it, you don't have to return it.